Welcome back to the channel. Today we uncover a modern US coin that most people spend without a second thought, yet the right example of it can command real money in today's coin market. We're talking about the top 8 most valuable and most expensive USA Roosevelt Old Dime, a coin that looks ordinary in circulation, but in high-grade condition or with a true minting error, it can transform from pocket change into a collector-level asset. If you've ever dismissed modern dimes as worthless, stay with me, because the rare survivors hiding in plain sight are exactly the kind of coins collectors compete for, and you might already have one without even knowing it. Let's get started. First up in the 2016 Roosevelt Dime is one of the most modern coins that quietly carries real collector potential when found in exceptional condition or with significant striking errors. Even though billions of dimes are produced each year for circulation, the coin market does not treat every dime equally. A normal pocket-worn 2016 dime is worth face value, but a top-graded or mint-error specimen can command prices far beyond the casual collector's expectations. To understand why, you must first understand what separates routine production from the rare anomalies that survive the minting process. The obverse of this dime features the left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, paired with the motto, "In God We Trust," and the bold inscription, "Liberty," along with the year 2016, and the small D mint mark signifying production at the Denver Mint. Many coins appear identical to the untrained eye, but graders and professionals evaluate sharpness, luster, strike quality, and microscopic details to determine true condition. That grading distinction is often what moves a dime from pocket change to auction-level material. High-grade examples are coins that were never exposed to circulation, never rubbed against other coins, and never suffered contact scratches. A 2016 dime that has been preserved in pristine condition with blazing mint luster can achieve grades such as MS66, MS67, or higher at grading services like PCGS and NGC. These condition rarities are not common. Millions of coins may exist, but only a small handful survive at the very top of the grading spectrum, and that scarcity is what commands higher price tags when collectors compete for the finest. At the most elite end, coins graded MS68 or better enter a category where registry set builders, collectors who seek the absolute highest graded example for their series, may pay aggressively to secure them. These are not everyday finds. They are the result of careful survival conditions from the moment the coin left the press. That is why knowledgeable collectors search uncirculated bank rolls of modern coins hopping to extract such premium-grade survivors before time and handling degrade them. Equally powerful in the value equation are mint errors, mechanical or die-based mistakes that occur during production and mistakenly escape into circulation. Unlike high-grade coins, whose value comes from perfection, mint errors derive their draw from imperfection. A dramatic off-center strike, a broad strike without a collar, a missing clad layer, or a double-die variety transforms an ordinary 2016 dime into a target of numismatic curiosity and competition. Error coins are not created intentionally, nor are most preserved knowingly at the time of issue. The U.S. Mint has strict quality control standards, yet a tiny number of flawed strikes still pass through undetected. Because the Mint produces huge volumes at high speed, isolated errors occur in unpredictable ways and rarely recur in identical formats, giving them an inherent uniqueness that collectors value. A visually dramatic error is especially prized, as it offers a clear and undeniable deviation from normal production. One of the most impressive categories is the missing clad layer error, where the outer nickel-copper surface fails to bond properly, leaving the underlying copper core exposed. Even more attention is paid to broad strikes or off-center strikes, where physical distortion of shape provides unmistakable evidence of an uncontrolled minting event. These are the types of errors that can shift a dime from pocket change status to a coin that draws bids in serious auctions. The reverse of the Roosevelt dime features three powerful symbols: the torch representing liberty, the olive branch signifying peace, and the oak branch symbolizing strength and victory. Surrounding them are the inscriptions EPLURIBUSUNUM, United States of America, and 1 dime. Even slight doubling of these letters due to a hub-based error can create a double die variety, which collectors pursue actively when verified by recognized authorities. Investors and collectors in today's active coin market pay attention to modern dimes not because all are valuable, but because the few that defy the norm, either by flawless preservation or by dramatic striking error, represent scarcity in a sea of abundance. The difference between a face value coin and a valuable example is not luck alone. It is awareness, grabbing knowledge, and the discipline to examine coins closely before dismissing them as ordinary. The reality of modern coin collecting is that rarity is no longer determined by age alone. It is determined by condition, by survival quality, and by the exceptions that escape the minting system. That is why a 2016 D dime in a flawless state can be more valuable than a heavily worn coin from the 1950s or 1960s. As more collectors build registry sets and compete for the top-graded examples, the premium on the highest quality surviving coins continues to rise. This new market behavior rewards precision, patience, and attention to microscopic differences that the average person never notices in their change. One of the most important aspects of identifying value in the 2016 D Roosevelt dime is the willingness to look beyond the obvious. A coin might appear shiny and new, yet still contain faint hairlines that disqualify it from top grades. Another might look dull at a glance, but display a spectacular mint error when examined under magnification. That is why experienced collectors rely on light, magnification, and multiple viewing angles before making any judgment. The fortune is often hidden in the details, and those who know how to read a coin correctly are the ones who capitalize on that hidden information. In today's fast-moving coin market, coins like the 2016 D dime demonstrate a powerful lesson. Value is created when knowledge meets opportunity. People throw away wealth every day because they never take the time to understand what they are holding. The dime may be one of the smallest coins in U.S. currency, but when preserved in elite condition or struck with a rare mint flaw, it becomes a financial asset instead of a simple transaction tool. That transformation from ordinary to valuable is what keeps serious collectors searching, and what makes even the most common-looking coins worth a second look. If you are holding 2016 D Roosevelt dimes, do not assume value without examination. A cheap-looking coin may hide an error, and a dime that appears newly minted may qualify for premium grading. The true fortune lies not in the emission of billions, but in the microscopic minority that survives in ultra-high condition or exits the mint with extraordinary flaws. Those are the 2016 D dimes that collectors compete for, and those are the coins that transform metal into money. Next up in the United States 1995 P Roosevelt dime that can change your entire destiny forever. This is not a joke, not a rumor, not a fantasy. This tiny piece of metal, this old-looking 10-cent coin, this so-called junk change, is the exact coin that has turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires when sold to the right collector at the right moment. Most people walk past these coins every single day without realizing they are stepping over unimaginable wealth. They see only 10 cents written on it. They never see the hidden fortune behind it. But collectors know the truth. Some of these rare 1995 P dime varieties, especially the bicentennial recognized scarce issues identified by experts, have sold for life-changing amounts of money. One correct specimen in wild demand can make you richer than lottery winners. And here is the craziest part. This dime doesn't have to be shiny. It doesn't have to be clean. It doesn't have to be in a jewelry box or a plastic holder. Even the most dirty, stained, full-damage example of this 1995 P-dime can carry rare traits, mint errors, or die varieties that collectors would fight for. You could literally hold a scratched, ugly, dirty coin and still be sitting on a millionaire-class treasure. Look closely at the coin. The portrait of Franklin Roosevelt facing left, the 32nd President of the United States, the leader who guided the nation through the greatest storms, stands bold alongside the powerful motto "In God We Trust" and the proud word "Liberty." Beneath that date, the tiny P mint mark secretly marks its Philadelphia birth, the exact detail that separates common metal from a millionaire's dream. Turn the coin to the reverse and the hidden story explodes into meaning, the powerful symbolism of the olive branch for peace, the flaming torch for liberty, and the oak branch for victory, surrounded by United States of America, EPLURIBUS UNUM, and one dime. This is not decoration, this is history in your palm, and history is exactly what collectors are willing to buy at unimaginable prices. There are people who once held this coin in their hand without knowing the value, and then they spent it for chewing gum or a bus ticket. They had millions in their fingers and they threw it away like trash. Do not make that same nightmare mistake. If you have a single USA dime from 1995 with the P mint mark, do not spend it, do not misplace it, and do not leave it ignored another day. Today's coin market is not weak, it is explosive. Collectors are hunting aggressively, dealers are fighting to secure stock, and the right rare dime can pull insane numbers in private auctions. We are talking about six-figure, seven-figure, even mind-crushing multi-million-dollar offers for special rare examples that have suddenly become the holy grail of modern U.S. coinage. The world economy is unstable, paper money is losing trust, but rare coins are not just metal, they are time capsules with permanent value. When a billionaire wants to store wealth, they don't buy bread, they buy history. They buy what cannot be printed again. They buy the rare collectibles like the 1995 P Roosevelt dime that the world forgot, but the elite never ignored. So before you walk away from this video thinking maybe later, understand that later is exactly how fortunes are lost. Every second someone else is checking their coins, someone else is discovering theirs, someone else is cashing in. And the next millionaire might not be someone in America, it might be you holding the coin right now without knowing it. Imagine the shock on someone's face when they learn that the same dime they once tossed into a vending machine is now valued higher than houses, cars, or entire businesses. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing the coin you almost spent is now your ticket out of struggle, out of pressure, out of limitations. The coin that turns your life story into the ultimate miracle headline. Ordinary person becomes millionaire from rare 1995 P dime. This is exactly why serious collectors and silent investors secretly chase these coins. They know what ordinary people ignore. They know that a single rare strike from 1995 P can hold a minting irregularity or a bicentennial recognized rarity that cannot be reproduced again. A once-in-history flaw that transformed a 10-cent object into a legendary fortune. They are ready to pay because they know the hidden truth. Rarity speaks louder than weight, louder than material, louder than logical. Every great treasure in history was once underestimated. Gold was once just yellow rock. Diamonds were once found in river mud. And today, rare USA coins, old, dirty, ignored, are quietly becoming the new kings of wealth. People who laughed at coin collectors before are now crying over missed chances. People who wasted their coins are now watching others cash out millions. Time separates winners from losers, not luck. The danger is not that your rare dime will disappear. The danger is that you will disrespect it before someone else finds it. One careless moment, one careless decision, one careless transaction, and your millionaire coin will be gone forever. Someone else will pick it up from circulation. Someone else will get it graded. Someone else will receive the life-changing payout that should have been yours. 1995 P dime is not just metal. It is a sleeping financial weapon. And the coin market does not wait for slow thinkers. When a rare coin is discovered and sells for millions, thousands of people rush too late to find theirs. But by then, the window has closed. Prices explode fast, then vanish forever. The ones who win are those who act when everyone else still doubts. So before you brush off this message, before you tell yourself maybe it's nothing, understand this. The richest people on earth are not those who waited, they are those who moved first. Your chance is in your hand disguised as a tiny damaged dime printed with liberty. In God we trust. United States of America. Treat it like destiny in disguise. This single coin could be the exact moment where your life divides into before and after. So treat every 1995 dime like a loaded bank vault in your hand. Don't clean it, don't spend it, don't give it away, protect it like you protect your identity. Many people dream their whole lives for a miracle that never arrives. But for you, the miracle may already exist, hiding inside a dull silver coin with the portrait of Roosevelt and the mint mark, P. Don't look back years later with regret. Look now, act now, and claim your fortune before someone else does. This is not just a coin, it is a fate shifter, a once-in-a-lifetime treasure disguised as pocket change. If you own a 1995 USA dime, guard it, inspect it, authenticate it, but never ever spend it. One single mistake could cost you millions. Take a moment, check your collection now, because your fortune may already be sitting in your hand this very moment. Next up in the 1983 Roosevelt dime is one of those small pieces of metal that people ignore in everyday change. Yet within the world of numismatics it can spark serious excitement. Struck at the Denver Mint, and carrying the small D mark, this coin continues the long-standing portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt facing left, with liberty framing his forehead and the sacred motto "In God we trust" pressed boldly into the field. The date 1983 marks its origin year, and collectors already know. Some off-center, wrong planchet or mint-terror examples from this same year have sold for staggering premiums in the market. Flip this dime and the reverse is a classic composition of American symbolism. The torch blazing in the center represents liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and victory. Around these noble symbols stretches United States of America and the nation's deeper motto EPLURIBUS UNUM, out of many, one. At the bottom, one dime settles its technical face value, but collectors know very well that the face value is rarely the true value when scarcity meets demand. Many people don't realize that most of the headline-grabbing sales for coins like this come from rare die errors, striking anomalies, or unbelievably high mint state grades under third-party certification. A flawless example in ultra-high grade with blazing luster and smooth, untouched surfaces can pull sums that seem absurd for a 10-cent piece. The reason is simple. Supply dries up fast when collectors buy and vault away quality, leaving the public blind to how few true survivors exist. 1983 specifically sits in a fascinating window. The U.S. Mint was under pressure producing billions of circulating coins, and that intense manufacturing pace sometimes allowed errors to escape unnoticed. Imagine a double-die obverse with Roosevelt's lettering ghosting in duplicate, or a dime punched on the wrong planchet with a different metal composition. Those are the types of lightning strike mistakes that auction houses love to advertise and collectors are willing to fight for. Then there is the psychological layer. Rarity is not merely a physical fact. It is perceived scarcity multiplied by collector emotion. When a dime like this appears in a major auction, two wealthy bidders with equal desire can ignite a war. Suddenly, a coin minted for 10 cents rockets into $1,000 territory, then into five-figure territory, and headlines do the rest by dragging new hopeful buyers into the chase. People who dismiss pocket change as worthless forget a brutal truth about collectibles. The biggest money is sometimes hiding in the smallest object. Vintage U.S. coins have repeatedly shattered expectations, with lowly denominations beating expensive art, diamonds, and even gold bars in percentage returns. If a unique error 1983 D dime surfaced with perfect surfaces and historic documentation, that microdisc could rewrite someone's financial story overnight. Another key driver behind explosive prices is what collectors call condition rarity. A coin can be common as a type, but nearly non-existent in top state of preservation. Circulation chews metal, pocket wear erodes design, and time destroys surfaces. So when even one aging 1983 D dime is discovered tucked away pristine, without fingerprints, bag marks, or dullness, the bidding public treats it like a museum escapee. The blistering hype around bicentennial rare USA coins worth millions, though often exaggerated, has conditioned millions of people to start checking their drawers, jars, and inherited boxes. That cultural attention alone pushes demand higher because people fear missing out on the next million-dollar discovery. The 1983 D dime, whether mint error or high-grade survivor, benefits from exactly that climate of hopeful excitement. If you own older U.S. coins, especially those that look off, me-struck, unusually toned, or in unbelievably clean state, the last thing you should do is spend them. A dime is a dime only until a trained grader touches it. Then it becomes a lottery ticket with controlled risk and unlimited upside. One envelope in a forgotten family box can turn a regular person into a news headline without any effort. The most shocking discoveries usually happen by accident, not by experts hunting with magnifying glasses. A grandmother cashing in jars at the bank, a teenager cleaning a drawer, or someone buying an estate box from a yard sale, that is where life-changing finds are born. When an unrecognized mint error dime from the 1980s, still in untouched condition, appears in the wild, it bypasses all expectations. That moment when the coin is authenticated and the world learns it is unique or extremely scarce, the price no longer follows logic. It follows adrenaline, competition, and collector ego. Collectors today don't just buy coins, they buy prestige, ownership of history, and power over an object that no one else can own. If a rare 1983 D example with dramatic error or pristine, untouched surfaces hits the auction floor, millionaires don't ask what the metal is worth. They ask what it means to possess something the rest of the world cannot. That psychological currency is more powerful than silver, more powerful than gold. And when that mentality enters the bidding room, the price ceiling evaporates. Another hidden factor is the momentum of proof and certification. A coin is just a piece of metal until a top-tier grading company locks it in a plastic slab with a grade that screams perfection or a label that confirms an outrageous mint error. That label becomes a legal identity for the coin, and the moment it is recognized in the numismatic ecosystem, its financial destiny changes instantly. A dime that was valueless yesterday, once slabbed, photographed, and publicized, becomes a competing asset like artwork or luxury watches. Even the story behind a coin can inflate its value. If a rare 1983 D dime were discovered in a bank-sealed roll, or found preserved in a mint set that was never opened for 40 years, the narrative alone adds psychological fuel. Buyers don't just buy the metal, they buy the story, the discovery, the legend. Every collectible that reaches the top of the market has a narrative that grips the imagination and forces buyers to justify extreme bidding without hesitation. That is why every coin owner needs to stop thinking like a spender and start thinking like a detector of dormant capital. A dime in circulation is money only until recognized. After recognition, it becomes a miniature vault of wealth. The 1983 D Roosevelt dime, in the right form, error, condition, rarity, or story, can transform into a financial detonator. This market is alive, aggressive, and emotional, and one overlooked coin can still flip an ordinary life into a fortune without warning. Do not underestimate this market. U.S. coins have already made millionaires from ordinary people who simply did not discard what others assumed was trash. The 1983 D Roosevelt dime is a reminder that the smallest coin can carry the loudest potential. And in today's aggressive collector environment, even a 10-cent disc can act like a sleeping fortune with unimaginable wealth compressed into one thin circle of metal. Next up to in the year 2008, the Roosevelt Dime looks ordinary to the untrained eye, just another pocket coin, just another silver-toned disc with a president's portrait on it. But for serious collectors and educated treasure hunters, this small coin can represent silent wealth. On the obverse sits Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, the iconic wartime president who led America through the Great Depression and World War II. Right beside his portrait is the legendary motto, "In God We Trust," while the bold word "Liberty" arcs along the side of his profile. Beneath it all, the date 2008 stands firm, along with the crucial Denver mint mark D, the mark that determines whether a coin is common or elite. Flip the coin over and the story becomes even more symbolic and powerful. The reverse is built around three elements: an olive branch for peace, a burning torch for liberty, and an oak branch for victory. These three timeless symbols are not randomly chosen decorations. They are the official message of American resolve. Wrapped around them are the inscriptions EPLURIBUS UNUM, United States of America, and one dime, phrases millions have seen, but few have ever studied closely. Now, although 2008 is not a classic early mint year, rare survivors from this date can reach significant collector value when paired with special circumstances. Coins that escape circulation, coins struck with unusual die errors, and coins preserved in extra fine or higher grades can transform from spare change into auction-grade collectibles. When collectors compete for scarce die states or high-grade survivors, even modern dates can command shocking prices. Many people make the mistake of assuming that only ancient or silver-era coins are valuable, but the truth is that rarity and condition override age. A flawless 2008 D with a dramatic minting anomaly, like an off-center strike, a broad strike without a rim, a double-die obverse or rotated reverse, can explode in price, not because of age, but because the market chases what cannot be reproduced. Once a rare variant is found and certified, its price climbs whenever demand exceeds supply, and that is exactly what drives coin wealth. Collectors also prize coins that carry deep historical context. Although the 2008 dime is not itself a bicentennial issue, it exists in an era when the hobby surged with renewed patriotic interest in U.S. coinage. A powerful market narrative developed around U.S. coins, with symbolism tied to American milestones, and that narrative has lifted values dramatically in the past decade. Any 2008 D that joins this narrative through grade, error, or presentation instantly becomes more than a simple pocket relic. Another important factor is survival rate. Billions of circulation dimes are minted, but the number that survive in pristine, extra fine, or uncirculated condition without scratches, pocket wear, dirt, or rim damage is tiny. As time passes, that number shrinks even faster. That natural reduction turns once common coins into stealth rarities, and rarities attract serious bidders. Auction houses and private sales regularly see ordinary year dimes reach thousands when certified by PCGS or NGC with a dramatic mint error or ultra-high grade. Once a coin crosses from circulating change into registry-worthy artifact, its fate changes permanently. The same metal that once bought a stick of gum is suddenly selling for more than a used car, and that is not exaggeration. That is the real mathematics of collector demand. The psychology of owning rare U.S. coins is powerful. Buyers aren't only purchasing metal, they are acquiring status, exclusivity, and cultural authority. That emotional fuel drives price competition and keeps values climbing year after year. A 2008 D dime that is truly exceptional, whether by error, preservation, or provenance, is a private key to that marketplace of prestige. This is why the wisest collectors never dismiss modern United States dimes as junk change. They check the edges, they inspect the lettering, They study the mint mark alignment. They examine both sides under magnification. Because the one coin that ordinary people spend without thinking can be the financial miracle another person retires on. That difference is not luck, it is awareness. Collectors often overlook the story that each 2008 Roosevelt dime carries, a small yet powerful reminder of America's resilience during times of change. While it may not be a century-old coin, it represents an era when the U.S. Mint perfected precision striking and high-speed production, meaning that any mistake or anomaly that escaped quality control becomes an instant gem. Imagine a dime with doubled lettering in God We Trust, or a ghostly shadow of Roosevelt's face from a die clash. Those small imperfections are what collectors chase relentlessly, and each one turns a basic coin into a one-of-a-kind treasure. In the bustling world of numismatics, even a single discovery can alter the market overnight. When a rare 2008 dime with an extreme off-center strike or die rotation appears at auction, collectors take notice. These minting accidents are visual proof of authenticity, accidents that were never supposed to exist. Once authenticated and graded, they become conversation pieces in museums, exhibits, and private showcases. The more dramatic the error, the higher the bidding frenzy. Many of these rare dimes have traded hands privately for thousands of dollars, despite their humble 10-cent face value. The beauty of this hobby lies in its unpredictability. Every year, new varieties and die errors are discovered by ordinary people, not experts, not dealers, but everyday citizens who simply took the time to look closer. Some of the most valuable 2008 Roosevelt dimes in existence today were once resting unnoticed in coffee cans or old change jars. That's the real magic of coin collecting, the idea that immense value can hide in plain sight, waiting for a pair of careful eyes to uncover it. It's this sense of hidden fortune that keeps collectors motivated and the market alive. If you hold a 2008 dime in your hand, examine its edges for smoothness and its shine for originality. A genuine extra-fine specimen will have crisp details on Roosevelt's hair, sharp lettering, and a clear, reflective surface. Avoid polishing or cleaning it, as doing so can destroy its collector value instantly. Instead, preserve it carefully, perhaps in a protective sleeve or coin flip, and if it looks unusually sharp or misaligned, have it appraised by a trusted professional. That simple act of care could transform a simple 10-cent coin into a museum-worthy investment. The 2008 Roosevelt dime teaches us a powerful lesson. Small things can hold monumental worth. Every coin tells a story, not just of the person stamped on it, but of the people who handled it, saved it, and passed it down. Some are symbols of history, some are artistic masterpieces, and some, like the rare 2008 era dimes, are priceless relics of chance. So before you dismiss that old dime as pocket change, remember this: your fortune could already be in your hand, glimmering quietly under the light, waiting for you to recognize its hidden glory. So before you hand away a dime for nothing, stop. Learn the surfaces. Learn the mint errors. Learn the grade standards. Some U.S. dimes sitting in drawers, coin jars, and forgotten envelopes are worth multiples of what most people earn in a year. Knowledge is the filter that separates fortune from ignorance, and a single correct decision with a rare dime could rewrite your financial reality forever. Next up to in the 1996 Roosevelt dime holds an interesting place in the eyes of collectors. It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime series, which first appeared in 1946 after Franklin D. Roosevelt's death. While billions of dimes are struck for everyday commerce and most of them never become collectibles, certain examples of the 1996 dime stand out because of their condition, errors, or special minting circumstances. Most common circulation finds are worth only their face value, but a small number of rare survivors command significantly higher prices. The obverse of the 1996 P dime features the familiar portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt facing left, engraved by John R. Sinek. Above and beside the portrait is the word Liberty, and below the portrait is the motto In God We Trust, along with the date 1996 and the P mint mark to designate Philadelphia. The reverse depicts the traditional vertical torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. Around these devices are the inscriptions EPLURIBUS UNUM, United States of America, and 1 dime. Because this design is standard across decades, rarity in this coin does not come from the design itself, but rather from special circumstances of production. In 1996, the U.S. Mint produced a special subset of Roosevelt dimes. The West Point Mint struck 1,457,000 dimes with a W mint mark, included only in special mint sets to mark the 50th anniversary. That event makes 1996 the first and only year the West Point Mint intentionally issued a circulation-type dime for collectors. Although the user's question concerns the 1996 P, the existence of the 1996 W has lifted general interest in the year 1996 dimes overall, causing collectors to look more carefully at Philadelphia issues for condition and mistakes. In ordinary circulated condition, a 1996 P dime has virtually no premium value beyond 10 cents. Billions were struck for commerce, and most show wear from contact and circulation. However, dimes surviving in pristine condition, especially certified high-grade examples, are far more desirable. Collectors of modern U.S. coins often compete for the highest-graded business strike coins, and this competition can drive certain grade populations into impressive price territory. Grading plays a decisive role in determining value. A 1996 P dime in extra fine XF, almost uncirculated AU, or even a lower mint state like MS62 or MS63 will still bring only a modest premium, often under a few dollars. The serious value appears only in coins grading at the very top of the mint state scale, typically MS67, MS68, or in extremely rare cases MS69. Collectors refer to this high-end condition as condition rarity, meaning a coin is valuable not because it is old or scarce by mintage numbers, but because so few survive in a flawless, untouched state. Auction records show that exceptional 1996 P dimes graded by PCGS or NGC with ultra-high numerical grades and full strike details can sell for hundreds or even more, depending on bidding competition at the time of sale. Coins struck with sharp full torch lines on the reverse, sometimes designated as FB or FT, full band/full torch, can command additional premiums. This is a reflection of strike quality rather than aftermint wear. Beyond grade rarity, error coins are another source of substantial value. A 1996 P dime, struck on the wrong planchet, such as on a copper-plated zinc cent blank, dramatically struck off-center, double-struck, struck through grease, or showing a strong double die can escalate from pocket change to a major collectible. Wrong planchet errors in particular can sometimes sell for four-figure prices when authenticated by a reputable grading service. It is important to understand that not every small imperfection equals value. Damage from circulation, scratches from pockets or machinery, or discoloration from environment do not create collectible worth. Serious collectors only pay premium prices for either exceptional preservation or genuine minting errors, not post-mint abuse. Many beginners mistake damage for rarity, and that confusion leads to faulty expectations. One of the elements that adds indirect prestige to the 1996 P dime is its association with transitional curiosity. The Roosevelt dime design was never modified in 1996, but the year remains a historic marker because the United States Mint temporarily added a second collector-only mint mark from West Point. That kind of dual mint activity in a single year encourages collectors to build complete 1996 sets, including Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco proof, and the special West Point issue. When collectors assemble sets by date, they automatically begin competing for the finest known examples from each mint, which raises demand even for the Philadelphia struck coins in elite grades. A serious collector evaluating a 1996 p-dime is thinking in terms of microscopic standards: the absence of bag marks, clarity of the fields, mirror-like brilliance or satiny luster, the sharpness of Roosevelt's hairlines, and the completeness of the torches and branch details on the reverse. These highly technical features cannot be seen with the naked eye under casual lighting. They are examined under magnification and professional lighting, which is why amateur assumptions about perfect condition often fail. A coin can look attractive to the casual observer and still fall short of MS-67 or MS-68 standards once a grader examines small abrasions invisible to the untrained eye. This is why the market for premium 1996 p-dimes is not built on luck alone, but on knowledge and verification. A person who finds a dime in a drawer and assumes it to be rare is usually disappointed, but a person who recognizes a true doubled die, a major off-metal strike, or an ultra-high-end pristine example has the opportunity to turn a face-value coin into a meaningful sale. It is the combination of scarcity and authentication that creates real value. Without those two pillars, rarity and certification, sellers cannot tap the upper end of the market, no matter how dramatic the story behind the coin. The 1996 P. Roosevelt dime teaches a lesson that applies widely across U.S. coin collecting. Modern coins do not need to be centuries old to achieve significant worth, but the value is rarely universal. It is conditional. Condition, rarity of strike, and documented mint errors drive value, not just the date stamped on the surface. Knowing how to separate ordinary from exceptional is what turns ordinary pocket change into a collectible asset. For some collectors, the thrill is not just in the coin itself, but in the possibility that a simple, overlooked modern dime might be the one that meets the market's highest standards. Because the 1996 p-dime is a modern coin and millions still exist, the true challenge is not finding one. It is finding one in an exceptional grade or with a traceable mint error. That is why professional authentication and encapsulation by PCGS, NGC, or ANACS is essential for high-value examples. Raw ungraded coins, even if beautiful, are rarely trusted at the top of the market without certification. The 1996 P. Roosevelt dime is an ordinary coin in most cases, but it can become highly valuable when its condition is remarkably perfect, or when it carries a dramatic mint error. Its significance is enhanced indirectly by the special 1996 W anniversary dime issued the same year, which draws collectors to scrutinize the entire 1996 series more carefully. Although not a bicentennial issue and not intrinsically rare by date alone, this coin proves a larger truth in numismatics. Modern coins, even from the late 20th century, can produce surprising value when rarity comes from condition or mint anomaly rather than age. Next up to in the 1981 D. Roosevelt dime, though small and often ignored in everyday change, hides inside it one of the most shocking realities of American coin collecting. That ordinary-looking United States coins can silently belong to the same legendary category of bicentennial rare coins that have made people rich overnight. The front of this coin shows Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, facing left, with the mighty words "In God We Trust" engraved as a statement of national conviction, surrounded with the timeless inscription "Liberty," and the date 1981 accompanied by the Denver D mint mark, the tiny letter that changes everything in the world of numismatics, because mint marks are often the difference between a basic pocket coin and a millionaire maker. Turn the coin over and the sense of power intensifies. The backside features the national eagle with its wings stretched wide, gripping arrows as a sign of American defense and strength, and sitting above a wreath made of olive sprays, a symbol of peace born through the power of victory. Around the eagle are written the words United States of America, and in bold the denomination 1 dime, along with the eternal national motto EPLURIBUSUNUM, meaning out of many, one. These elements, though seen every day by millions, become extraordinary when a specific coin leaves the ordinary path. Because one variation, one error, one unique condition can pull it out of circulation value and launch it into the elite hall of fortune-making coins. Collectors across the world treat these so-called ordinary Roosevelt dimes from the early 1980s with serious attention, because inside those years lie some of the rarest discovered errors, transitional mistakes, planchet anomalies, and low-mintage survivors. Many of these 1981 D coins have been pulled from jars, drawers, parking lots, wallets, and inherited accumulations, only to later become the exact coins that end up in high-stakes auctions, where a tiny 10-cent piece sells for more than a diamond ring or a luxury car. People still doubt until they see the hammer fall at auction, when a dime that once passed through a vending machine sells for tens of thousands of dollars. This is why the 1981 D dime is discussed in the same breath as the big class of rare bicentennial USA coins, not because of the year alone, but because the phenomenon of shockingly valuable circulation coins gained global attention through that bicentennial wave. After collectors realized that certain coins minted around those years turned into million-dollar pieces, the world's attention shifted, and suddenly people began re-examining every dime, every edge, every mint mark. The 1981 D dime rides inside that same fever of discovery, an era where the smallest American coin became a lottery ticket in metal form. In today's active coin market, what makes this dime explode in value is not sentimental storytelling. It is physical reality. One dime with a double die strike, one dime with a missing clad layer, one dime struck off-center, one dime mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet, or one dime preserved in unusually untouched, crisp mint-fresh condition can instantly enter the ranks of coins that are sold for as much as a house. These mistakes are not fantasies. They are verified by grading companies, sold by real auction houses, and recorded in collector archives. There are people who once thought nothing of their pocket change, only to later discover that what they had sitting in a jar was a life-changing fortune. Some call it luck, others call it destiny, but in the world of coins, fortune does not announce itself. It hides quietly on metal until someone with the right eye sees what everyone else missed. That is why numismatists aggressively hunt for 1981 D dimes in rolls, in bank bags, in old boxes, because the next millionaire coin is not sitting in a museum. It is sitting in circulation, waiting to be noticed. The unbelievable truth is that these US dimes have been known to generate sums that people associate with real estate, gold, and business empires. A 10-cent disc of copper-nickel alloy can be the reason someone wipes out debt, buys land, funds education, or steps into financial freedom. This is why collectors repeat the golden warning. Do not blindly release old coins back into the economy. Some of them are not cents or dimes. They are disguised assets. Collectors and auctioneers repeatedly emphasize that the generations who spend their coins carelessly are always the ones who look back with regret. The modern coin market rewards awareness and punishes ignorance. Those who know how to identify rare US dimes, especially from years like 1981 D during the heightened collectible era, position themselves to capture wealth that other people walk past every day without realizing. This is not a fairy tale. It is a documented pattern. Coins may be small, but history has already proven their power to change the trajectory of lives. A single 1981 D dime sitting unnoticed in a family drawer could be the exact coin that joins the elite class of rare American currency people label bicentennial fortune coins. The coins that broke all expectations and made ordinary citizens overnight millionaires. The greatest trap most people fall into is that they assume value must come with something visibly special. They expect a rare coin to look golden, glowing, or different to the naked eye, but that is not how fortune works in the coin world. The most valuable dimes ever sold looked normal until an expert noticed something microscopic: a shifted letter, a doubled profile, a rare metal composition, or a strike executed during a transitional year. That is why the 1981 dime, although visually identical to millions of ordinary dimes, can still secretly belong to the small group of extraordinary money-making coins that auction houses fight to secure. Wealth in coins is never loud. It hides in silence. Another truth that shocks beginners is that rarity is not always created by age. It is created by survival. Millions of 1981 dimes were minted, but the number of them that remain intact, well-preserved, uncorroded, uncleaned, and free from damage is extremely low. Every time someone used it in a vending machine, dropped it on asphalt, washed it in laundry, or tossed it in circulation again, one more potential high-grade fortune was destroyed. Today, pristine survivors are no longer simply coins. They are financial artifacts, relics that represent the razor-thin line between common currency and auction-class capital. That is why collectors say, money loses value over time through inflation, but rare coins gain value over time through scarcity. The economy may fall, currencies may devalue, banks may collapse, but a rare American dime, authenticated, graded, and protected, becomes more powerful with every passing decade. And this is the invisible privilege of owning coins like the 1981 dime from the bicentennial-influenced golden era of rare U.S. coin discoveries. While the rest of the world spends and loses, the quiet holder of a rare dime waits and becomes the one who wins. So if you have U.S. coins in your home, in your collection, or in old belongings, do not treat them like metal scraps. Treat them like untested lottery tickets created by the United States Mint. Because one of them, maybe a 1981 Roosevelt dime you never looked at twice, could be the next coin that does what everyone thinks is impossible: turn spare change into a life-altering fortune, without warning and without permission. Next up to in the 1981 Roosevelt dime, though small and often ignored in everyday change, hides inside it one of the most shocking realities of American coin collecting: that ordinary-looking United States coins can silently belong to the same legendary category of bicentennial rare coins that have made people rich overnight. The front of this coin shows Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, facing left, with the mighty words "In God We Trust" engraved as a statement of national conviction, surrounded with the timeless inscription "Liberty," and the date 1981 accompanied by the Denver D mint mark, the tiny letter that changes everything in the world of numismatics, because mint marks are often the difference between a basic pocket coin and a millionaire maker. Turn the coin over and the sense of power intensifies. The backside features the national eagle with its wings stretched wide, gripping arrows as a sign of American defense and strength, and sitting above a wreath made of olive sprays, a symbol of peace born through the power of victory. Around the eagle are written the words "United States of America," and in bold the denomination 1 dime, along with the eternal national motto "EPLURIBUSUNUM," meaning out of many, one. These elements, though seen every day by millions, become extraordinary when a specific coin leaves the ordinary path. Because one variation, one error, one unique condition can pull it out of circulation value and launch it into the elite hall of fortune-making coins. Collectors across the world treat these so-called ordinary Roosevelt dimes from the early 1980s with serious attention, because inside those years lie some of the rarest discovered errors, transitional mistakes, planchet anomalies, and low-mintage survivors. Many of these 1981 coins have been pulled from jars, drawers, parking lots, wallets, and inherited accumulations, only to later become the exact coins that end up in high-stakes auctions, where a tiny 10-cent piece sells for more than a diamond ring or a luxury car. People still doubt until they see the hammer fall at auction, when a dime that once passed through a vending machine sells for tens of thousands of dollars. This is why the 1981 D dime is discussed in the same breath as the big class of rare bicentennial USA coins, not because of the year alone, but because the phenomenon of shockingly valuable circulation coins gained global attention through that bicentennial wave. After collectors realized that certain coins minted around those years turned into million-dollar pieces, the world's attention shifted, and suddenly people began re-examining every dime, every edge, every mint mark. The 1981 D dime rides inside that same fever of discovery, an era where the smallest American coin became a lottery ticket in metal form. In today's active coin market, what makes this dime explode in value is not sentimental storytelling. It is physical reality. One dime with a double die strike, one dime with a missing clad layer, one dime struck off-center, one dime mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet, or one dime preserved in unusually untouched, crisp mint-fresh condition can instantly enter the ranks of coins that are sold for as much as a house. These mistakes are not fantasies. They are verified by grading companies, sold by real auction houses, and recorded in collector archives. There are people who once thought nothing of their pocket change, only to later discover that what they had sitting in a jar was a life-changing fortune. Some call it luck, others call it destiny, but in the world of coins, fortune does not announce itself. It hides quietly on metal until someone with the right eye sees what everyone else missed. That is why numismatists aggressively hunt for 1981 D dimes in rolls, in bank bags, in old boxes, because the next millionaire coin is not sitting in a museum. It is sitting in circulation, waiting to be noticed. The unbelievable truth is that these US dimes have been known to generate sums that people associate with real estate, gold, and business empires. A 10-cent disc of copper-nickel alloy can be the reason someone wipes out debt, buys land, funds education, or steps into financial freedom. This is why collectors repeat the golden warning. Do not blindly release old coins back into the economy. Some of them are not cents or dimes. They are disguised assets. Collectors and auctioneers repeatedly emphasize that the generations who spend their coins carelessly are always the ones who look back with regret. The modern coin market rewards awareness and punishes ignorance. Those who know how to identify rare US dimes, especially from years like 1981 D during the heightened collectible era, position themselves to capture wealth that other people walk past every day without realizing. This is not a fairy tale. It is a documented pattern. Coins may be small, but history has already proven their power to change the trajectory of lives. A single 1981 D dime sitting unnoticed in a family drawer could be the exact coin that joins the elite class of rare American currency people label bicentennial fortune coins. The coins that broke all expectations and made ordinary citizens overnight millionaires. The greatest trap most people fall into is that they assume value must come with something visibly special. They expect a rare coin to look golden, glowing, or different to the naked eye, but that is not how fortune works in the coin world. The most valuable dimes ever sold looked normal until an expert noticed something microscopic: a shifted letter, a doubled profile, a rare metal composition, or a strike executed during a transitional year. That is why the 1981 D dime, although visually identical to millions of ordinary dimes, can still secretly belong to the small group of extraordinary money-making coins that auction houses fight to secure. Wealth in coins is never loud. It hides in silence. Another truth that shocks beginners is that rarity is not always created by age. It is created by survival. Millions of 1981 D dimes were minted, but the number of them that remain intact, well-preserved, uncorroded, uncleaned, and free from damage is extremely low. Every time someone used it in a vending machine, dropped it on asphalt, washed it in laundry, or tossed it in circulation again, one more potential high-grade fortune was destroyed. Today, pristine survivors are no longer simply coins. They are financial artifacts, relics that represent the razor-thin line between common currency and auction-class capital. That is why collectors say, money loses value over time through inflation, but rare coins gain value over time through scarcity. The economy may fall, currencies may devalue, banks may collapse, but a rare American dime, authenticated, graded, and protected, becomes more powerful with every passing decade. And this is the invisible privilege of owning coins like the 1981 D dime from the bicentennial-influenced golden era of rare U.S. coin discoveries. While the rest of the world spends and loses, the quiet holder of a rare dime waits and becomes the one who wins. So if you have U.S. coins in your home, in your collection, or in old belongings, do not treat them like metal scraps. Treat them like untested lottery tickets created by the United States Mint. Because one of them, maybe a 1981 D Roosevelt dime you never looked at twice, could be the next coin that does what everyone thinks is impossible: turn spare change into a life-altering fortune, without warning and without permission.